Hello, and welcome to the Love Your Work Life podcast. I'm your host, Elissa Shuck. Whether you're going for that next promotion, looking for a job, or making a career pivot, I'll teach you how to navigate it all so you can have the career you want. Hello, and welcome to episode 58. Last week, I shared that the poll I had done on LinkedIn was even with people being, their biggest challenge being to market themselves and find a great job. And I'm so curious about why finding a great job to apply to is a challenge for so many people. Because, and I look at these stats on a fairly regular basis just to make sure nothing's changed. But a recent report shared that there are 58 million companies on LinkedIn and that there are more than 15 million job posts. So there are a lot of jobs out there. So why are people having a hard time finding great jobs to apply to? Well, I've narrowed it down to 3 areas that I really do believe affect your ability to find great jobs. Now, first of all, let's talk about the practical and tactical. I love using LinkedIn for a job search because there are so many ways to locate jobs. Number 1, just a simple search. Put in the job title and search it. Another way you can do that is targeting companies. When you go to LinkedIn, we heard there's 58 million on LinkedIn, so target the companies that you're interested in. Better yet, follow all of these companies, because when you do, now you'll be able to see their posts and get a better chance for inbound leads to you, because recruiters have the ability to filter their search results and only include people who are following the company. So you definitely want to follow all of the companies of interest, whether you've actually applied for a job or not, just so you can show up and search, if nothing else. The other thing you can do is a keyword skills-based search using what's called a Boolean search string. Now, this is where you string together keywords. They could be your skills. They could be a combination of skills, job functions, job titles. You can make the strings really long. You can make them very short. The idea is that you're putting words together with and, or not in between each of those words. And, capitalize all the letters in and, capitalize all the letters in or, capitalize all the letters in not. This is the way LinkedIn recommends it on their information page. But anyway, when you do this, you are stringing together words of everything you want to see. You're giving options with that or say there's an industry that you definitely would not like to work in, then adding not at the end of that search string helps, because it'll eliminate any roles in that particular industry or for that particular company. Maybe there's a company that you don't want to work for. It works either way. But when you do this, then you are creating a list of job postings that include any of those words somewhere in the job post. It could be the title. It could be somewhere in the description, in the bullet points. It's a really great way for you to explore and find jobs to apply to on LinkedIn and play around with those strings. Put words in, take words out, the ones that give you particularly good results, then create a job alert for that. That way, LinkedIn is notifying you of jobs that are meeting that criteria, that fit the results of that search string that you set up. Lots and lots of jobs. Okay, so that's a way to find jobs. If you happen not to be seeing jobs, then it might be your approach. And let me explain. Because one of the things that can happen is if you're applying to lots of jobs or casting a wide net, thinking that that's going to help you find more jobs, it actually doesn't work very well. It actually keeps you from seeing jobs and might even make your job search take longer. Because when you take a strategic, targeted approach, you're creating focus. And focus does not equal less opportunities. Focus actually creates more opportunities because you're giving your brain something to find. It's like you're giving your brain a puzzle to solve, something to look for, something to search out. So when you're leveraging the power of your own brain, you will start to see opportunities. Let me explain. We have something in our brains called the reticular activating system. This is a natural filter that lets you see things of interest, that when you decide to focus on something, whether that is a new pair of shoes, a new car, anything that you give yourself to focus on, your brain goes to work to show you those exact things. And it works with a job search as well. It's why one of the first things I have you do in Job Search Field Guide is create an ideal job description. To take all of the things that you love about what you are doing or what you've done in your past and create a list of all of the key things that you would love to see in your next job search, and to be as clear and detailed about it as possible. Because when you do, you're telling your brain, these are the things I want to find. And now when you go in and you look at jobs, job posts, whether that's LinkedIn, Indeed, wherever, guess what happens? Because you've given yourself so much detail and such a vivid picture of what you want, you will be able to find it because your brain is eliminating or filtering out the things that don't align with what you want and allowing in the things that you do want. It's so fascinating the way this works. And so I want you to try it. I want you to go in, I want you to look at your career history. And if you're a member of Job Search Field Guide, definitely make sure that you're doing that step to capture everything that you want. It's okay to want what you want. Give yourself permission to have what you want. Don't resort to feeling like you've got to fit in to these job descriptions. How about the jobs fitting to you? I'm telling you, my friends, this works. Give yourself something to work with. Give your brain very vivid, descriptive, even emotionally charged vision of what you want. And by emotionally charged, I mean it feels great. How would it feel to have that job, to get that promotion, to achieve that career pivot? If you are feeling good and you're associating a lot of description and vividness with that, I'm telling you, you are giving your brain some really powerful thoughts and images to work with. It will help you find great jobs to apply to. All right. Now, the last point I want to make has to do with having better thoughts and your self-talk. If you pay attention, you will realize that your reality, the reality you are experiencing, reflects what you're thinking. So if you're constantly thinking, there's no good jobs out there, there's hardly any jobs that I'm qualified for, and I'm not seeing anything that's interesting to me, guess what? That's exactly what you are experiencing. Now, we think that those thoughts are just, as a couple of my coaches say, reporting the news. It just seems like a fact. It seems like we're just telling it like it is, but there are 15 million job posts out there. And I'm telling you, every time I do a Boolean search with a client, we narrow this down with using 5 or 6 keywords. We're narrowing it down and we're still seeing thousands of jobs that include those keywords. And then we narrow it down and we narrow it down and we get it down to, some that look super duper relevant. But the point I'm making is when you're creating better thoughts, when you're being intentional with your thinking and intentional with your self-talk and realizing that your thoughts are reflecting in your reality, then start thinking better thoughts. I mean, that is the one thing that we know we can control. Our thoughts can be controlled. We can be intentional. Don't allow well-worn neurological pathways of negativity and scarcity and what ifs in the worst possible scenarios to create your reality. Leverage your thinking, leverage your self-talk, and start thinking the things that you want to see in front of you. This is not woo-woo kind of stuff. This is the way things work. Physiologically, pay attention to what you're thinking because you get what you think. And if you're thinking there's no jobs out there, then it doesn't matter how many job posts are on LinkedIn, you're not going to see them. Because you're telling your brain, I don't see jobs. And your brain says, okay, let's not see jobs today. If you go into your day, your job search, or your career pivot thinking there are lots of opportunities for me, the perfect role is out there, the company that will value me, where I can be part of a community and make a significant contribution is waiting for someone just like me, that's where the magic happens. That's when you will start to see exactly those kinds of jobs. So pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to your self-talk. Make sure that you are controlling that you are being a very curious watcher of your brain throughout your job search and honestly, throughout your career. Because you can navigate it, you control far more than you give yourself credit for. I know. I am an example of what's possible. I've been able to turn things around very quickly from job loss to landing something new in a completely different industry, leveraging the things I loved best about my previous roles. And trust me, if I can do it, so can you. I used the tactics that I just taught you. So there's nothing special or secret about it. It's really about using your innate tools and resources, your thinking, your focus, and combining that with practical, tactical ways to see great opportunities. And then, of course, jumping all in, doing the other things like reaching out to humans. That's a whole nother podcast. So use your practical, tactical tools like LinkedIn. Get as focused and clear as you possibly can. Do not fear focus. Being focused and applying constraint to your job search is actually your friend and an extremely powerful way to find great jobs to apply to. And then just simply pay attention to what you're thinking. and choose thoughts that reflect what you want. Like there's lots of great jobs to apply to. There's lots of great opportunities for me. And you will start to get different results. All right. Until next time. If you like listening to this podcast, and you are going to love my program, Job Search Field Guide. This is a unique opportunity. I offer group coaching alongside a 5-step process to help you land a job quickly. So I hope you will join me in Job Search Field Guide. This is going to be revolutionary to your career journey and your job search, and you get lifetime access. So find it at elissashuck-careercoach.com, and I will see you there.